Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's up, party people? Happy Wednesday. We're back at it. We're doing this voice because I feel dead inside. The combination of just being tired and the Celtics sucking made a tough start for the day. But we get a fun one this morning. We go, what's up from Sweden? What's up, Algardars? Man, I got to work on the pronunciation. Good. Who else do we have in the streets this morning? I see Sneeps in here. Federico, Snoopaloop. Yes. Happy National Help a Horse Day. Borland asking about a team hold app. The Hoggy's here. Orion, Brent, Cameron, Stubb, Shigs, Badavine's here. Homies, we the people. Andre in the house. Ricardo, Martins, Joel, good morning. The Common Man's here. We got Grote in this house. Jump Shoot, trying to guess what it is. And bang, Jump Shoot. We are doing a giveaway this morning, as always. So like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Trae into the chat, and we'll give something away here at the end. If you're a Top Shot stan, we'll do a Top Shot moment. And if you're so rare, bro, I'll hit you up with a little so rare action. So like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Trae. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing this morning. We'll be talking about the 3 games we had last night, the 4 games we have tonight, some second round matchups, some offseason moves for these teams. Then we'll, I'll sprinkle a little fairy dust of some underdog, so rare, and dapper related conversation here towards the end of the show. Anybody else show up here a little bit? Yeah, tell Lori we say hi if you see him. That's a shout out, Lori Markin, the most improved player right there, which is pretty exciting. Who else we got? Anybody else? Stan, I see, dude. Stan out there balling in the Twitter discourse. It was fun catching up on that this morning. Stan, always appreciate you going to war. But yeah, I guess we just kind of dive into it and get started. One other reminder. So tonight, shout out to everybody who went over to Playback last night and hung out with Weisberg. The 89 Cavs are going to be over there tonight. So I'll drop a link to Playback in case you haven't seen it yet. But basically, it's, like this, except we get to watch the game together. So we'll be watching the game. We're going to fire it up around 7 and bounce around from the 2 games. We got 4 games tonight. We'll do the early games. The NBA are cowards, I guess, and they're afraid to program up against the NFL draft, right? I don't know why we need to do 4 today, and then it was supposed to be no games tomorrow, but then the Celtics choke. But anyways, yeah, let's tune into Playback tonight. Shot Tank, I believe, is happening. I'm gonna be I think that'll be on Jeb's channel again. I'm gonna be sitting out Shot Tank just because of 89 Cavs, and your boy is running on fumes. Which was a good opportunity to do a little coffee sip, shall we? Yeah, but that'll be tonight, and then tomorrow the morning show's back, and Friday as well. So let's and listen, I just want to shout out the people here because we eclipsed the 9,020 mark. We're at 9,025 now for subscribers on the path to 10K. So that's pretty cool. We love that. All right, let's get into the Celtics game. So for most of you know this, but if you don't, I will let you know. On Tuesdays, I host I was trivia at this bar. And so I kind of had, it starts at 7:30, usually wraps up around 9. So I had the game on, but I'm like sort of watching. I see Jaylen Brown's cooking a little bit, Tatum's cooking a little bit. Actually, that's not true. Tatum never cooked. Jaylen Brown cooked. And they had a pretty healthy, it stayed in that like 8 to 14 point lead. Trivia ends. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to stick around. There's 9 minutes left in the game. Let's finish this bad boy out so we can move on to Philadelphia, get ready for the second round. And then the Celtics just go full meltdown mode. And I keep thinking of Succession, like I love you, but you're not serious people. You can't do that. So I think they had they had a 12-point lead, reminiscent of the Milwaukee Miami game. And then Atlanta rips off a 15-2 run. I think they ended up on like a 25-5 run or something like that. That math might be wrong, but I know at one point it was 15-2. And you just can't do that, man. And Trae, to Trae's credit, he hasn't been, he's had 2 good games at home, but for the most part, he hasn't been able to shoot. And even last night, he didn't really shoot that well. He went 14 for 33, 5 for 13 for the field, finished with 38 and 13. But to lose on your home court with a lead like that in a closeout game without their second or arguably best player, DeJounte Murray, even playing, it's just they took their foot off the gas and they tried not to lose that game down the stretch instead of trying to win the game. Also, Marcus Smart, shout out Fast Break Breakfast, who had a great tweet that was kind of like classic Marcus Smart trying to win a playoff game with an off-ball foul, like just diving all over the place. It was just really frustrating to watch. Marcus Smart, a -12. Actually, let me just fact check that quickly. Marcus Smart, a -12. And Derek White's going to be closing these games, man. Derek White and Brogdon going to be out there if you're going to go small, if you're going to go big. It put Robert Williams, Al Horford out there, and he's been tough, man. Marcus has been tough down the stretch, but they truly. The other thing that was so like Milwaukee did this with Jimmy Butler the other night, right? If this dude is lighting you up, I know Golden State, right? Golden State sends 2 guys at Fox. Fox is forced to kick it to Barnes, who gets a good look but misses the 3, right? You much rather want Barnes taking that shot than Fox in that scenario, right? I think that's how people felt about it. And like, you just let Trae do it. You let him walk right into that threes. Trae, and to Trae's credit, again, hits like a smash 3, like way deep, gives him a 2-point lead. And it was brutal. It was just brutal. But like, send 2 guys at him. Send 2 guys at him. Force fucking Bogdan to hit a shot, or DeAndre Hunter or somebody like that. Why are you letting, like, that's what they want to do. That's what the Hawks want to do. And they just, the Celtics just, again, they tried not to lose the game instead of trying to win the game. So it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Atlanta won because you slandered Patrick. Dude, I got to tell you, I had a tweet ready to go too. So I think that is why they lost. I had a tweet ready to go just to be like, how dare you? How dare you? But no, I got to take the L on that one. Although I'd still much rather be playing Atlanta than Miami. So now Atlanta goes back to, and this is the most tilting thing about this, right? Philadelphia now gets more time to rest. So instead of this game, I think game 2 would have started on game 1 of the round 2 would have started on like Saturday. Now it's probably not starting till Sunday or Monday. It gives the Celtics have to play one more game. It's at least one more game. It requires more travel. It's just like, what are you doing, guys? You got to close that game out if you're a serious team. And I think my real takeaway is just like, nobody's good. Like, no one is a dominant team. Although maybe the dominant teams are Phoenix and Denver, which we'll talk more about here in a little bit. But man, yeah, bottom line says Smart. This is a good take. Smart's playing style looks great when you're winning, but it's annoying when you're not. Yeah, I think that's a good take. Let me hammer the rest of the stats here, just so for you box score bros, you know what the final was. So Trae, yeah, what I said, 38 and 13. Bogdan got the start, as we thought, in place of our friend DeJounte. He went for 18, 6, and 5, also threw in a couple of blocks and a steal. John Collins went for 22. And that was really it. Sadiq Bey got 12 off the bench, which was fine. Jaylen Brown, as I said, right, 35, 7, and 5. Tatum with 19, 8, and 8. Derek White, 18, 5, and 4. Marcus Smart at 10. Al Horford at 3. Al Horford's looked old. Brogdon with 14 off the bench, only played 26 minutes. Robert Williams with 10 and 7, only played 27 minutes. And I don't know, like maybe their plan here with Robert Williams is like, hey, man, let's get them in that 25-minute range. Keep them fresh. Keep them fresh. Yeah, we the people saying Boston will still slap Philly with their non-existent bench. You know what's kind of funny, and because I agree, I do think Boston is the better team, and that like long term, I don't think this is an issue. Like I think they're still going to beat Atlanta. I'm not worried about it, but like why make that even harder? You know what I'm saying? Why make that harder on yourself? But yeah, man, really, really frustrating game. Snoop Loop says hot take bench Murray for next game. Yeah. We the people also has the Suns take. We'll save it. We'll save it. But yeah, and it now Atlanta. What was really funny, and I think I actually found out about this because of the No Dunks thumbnail. So everybody go watch No Dunks at 10 a.m. Eastern. But Janet Jackson was on the thumb. Even Atlanta didn't think they were going to take this to 6 game because they have Janet Jackson scheduled in the Atlanta. Was it the Peachtree? I forget what it's called. No, the Fortress. Is it Fortress? Anyways, they got Janet. They had to reschedule a Janet Jackson concert, I believe, so that so Atlanta can do it. Atlanta can do it. But yeah, give Trae Young some credit. We've beaten the shit out of him. I mean, everybody was saying like you got to trade Trae. It's not working there. And then listen, they are the underdog. They are the 7 seed, and now they're forcing a game 6 against the Boston Celtics, and they have a shot to make. I mean, listen, you're going at home too. You've won a game at home already, and now you got to just be like, wow, we beat Boston without our second best player. We could do it again. We can do it again. And then all of a sudden, if they do steal game 6. And it goes back for game 7. God, ESPN just keeps playing ads right now. There we go. And all of a sudden, you're going to go back to say they get game 6. You're going to go back to game 7. And now Boston's bum holes are like super, super tight because they're on the brink of getting upset. And it becomes a lot harder. Atlanta can play free. They're not supposed to be in this series. It's brutal. It's brutal if you're a Celtics fan. But I'll also remind the party people here, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Ice Trae will give something away. So shout out Trae Young, shout out Atlanta, hot Atlanta, got the W. Thursday night we'll have the game. So, we got to flip back and forth between the NFL draft and the only game that'll be playing. Also, speaking of the NFL, our friend 90s fan, who actually I don't know if 90s fan has been on the show. I've been on his spaces, but he's going to the NFL draft. He's doing some NFL draft coverage on Thursday night. He's going to be jumping on the morning show on Friday. He's going to be jumping on the show on Friday. We're going to be giving away an all-day pack as well. So that's exciting. So that'll be the same morning show, not a new show or anything like that. So on Friday, we'll have a little foosball talk on top of our basketball talk, which works out well because there's only one game. All right, let's go now to the 2 teams that actually closed out their series, right? This was supposed to be a semisonic closing time. We're supposed to be getting all of these series over with. And instead, Boston ruined that. But let's do Phoenix first. So Phoenix beat the Clippers. Dude, Clippers, man. Clippers hung tough in this game. So the final here was 136-130. Phoenix seemed to have a comfortable lead in the fourth quarter. I think they were up like 14. And because they're a serious team, after the Clippers made a run, they shut the door. Unlike our friends over in Boston who did not do that. Norman Powell had a great game. Shot 8 for 17 from the field. Went for 27. Russ came back to earth. I mean, he still was very impactful and like played some solid defense and orchestrated and facilitated a lot of the offense. But he had a 3 for 18, 14, 8, and 8. Zubac had 16 and 10. And then you got Batum at 19 off the bench. I also want to shout out Plum Dog Millionaire because we had a very good underdog night last night. We finished 5th in the daily, which I think was for 750. So I think we 4x last night, 4x our input total with all of my lineups. But Plumlee with a 20 and 10 off the bench, and Batum, who got hot from 3, went 5 for 8, went 19 and 6, and then they got played some minutes and did all right as well. Bones Highland, a little disappointing. But yeah, Phoenix closed out. But the story of Phoenix was Devin Booker in the third quarter. Devin Booker went for 25 points in the third quarter, going 10 of 11. 10 of 11, his final stat line here. KD went for 31, 6 and 4. Devin Booker, 47, 10 and 8, going 4 for 7 from 3, 19 for 27 from the field. CP3 had 15 and 7. Ayton with a nice game too, 21 and 11, 3 times. Their bench continues to suck though. Booker played 42 minutes. Durant played 44 minutes. Ayton played 36. CP3 37. Torrey Craig, their fifth starter, only played 17. Got in foul trouble early, and they just kind of like slowed him down. Okogie off the bench, he played 33 minutes, and then it was like 12 from Biyombo, 3 from Campaign, which was like important to have him back. Yet he only played 3 minutes, and that's probably because Booker was just cooking, so they're like, let him run point. Damian Lee gave him 7 minutes, and Shaman Face gave him 9. Easterman's, yeah, dude. We're Semisonic Bros up in here. Anybody can put up Booker numbers versus Russ and the JV team. Whoa, is that Russ slander, we the people? Is that Russ slander? But anyways, good win for the Suns. As again, listen, a second no dunks shutout. But as Skeets pointed out, this was a douchebag sweep. Douchebag sweep is when you drop game 1 and then rip off 4 games in a row. So the Suns move on to round 2. We'll talk about their matchup here in a little bit. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Clippers and just kind of like, what do they do in the offseason, right? So Russ is up for a new deal, and I don't really know what they do there. And I believe Kawhi just re-upped with the Clippers too, right? So I don't know like what their move is, right? They're already, I believe, the second most expensive team in the league behind just the Golden State Warriors. I don't know how they like. I don't even know what moves they need to make, right? They either need to re-sign Russ, and that all depends on like, is anybody giving Russ a big deal? Because here's the thing: if all of the money is equal, right? If no one is putting a ton of money into Russ, if Russ isn't like, oh, I want 4 years, 200 million. As long as that's not the case, I think he just stays in LA, right? He likes LA. He's from LA. He likes Paul George. I think he likes Kawhi. But I don't know, like where. But again, if somebody comes in and offers him a F ton of money, the Clippers aren't going to be able to match that, I don't think. But I also don't think, is anybody out there going to give him 200? Like, not 4, obviously not 4 for 200, but like even 4 for like 150. Like, is anybody doing that? Fenny's saying, I think he's staying in LA. Shiggins says Russ is going to be a mid-level exception. We the people, I love this take. Get him away from these soft injury-prone dudes. Yeah, and I mean, like, the Clippers are kind of stuck. That's what I mean. Like, you are living and dying by Kawhi Leonard's health, which, like, when it's good, it's great, right? 2 NBA Finals MVPs, 2 chips, 2 different organizations, but he just can't stay healthy. And then Paul George, too. Paul George, like, equally off the court, right? It's always something with these guys. However, if you tune into Paul George's podcast, I'm sure we'll hear something like, I don't know. Yeah, man, we hung banners in LA, right? And he'll just, yeah, I'm sure. And it'll be like a summer league thing or something. Jump shoot saying Russ is 34. No way he gets more than 3. Yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's right. Maybe he just gets a 2-year deal, something like that. Ming saying Clips screwed themselves with no picks. So yes, they're stuck. I mean, right. It's the combination of the Kawhi deal, of the Kawhi extension. That's what's kind of crazy, man. The Kawhi extension's pretty wild, but also like they still don't have any picks from the SGA deal. Those are still going to OKC. And I'm sure they could use a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander right now, right? I mean, no one could project that Shea was going to turn into this, but that, I mean, like in retrospect, tough stuff. Patrick with a great point. At least Paul George didn't choke in the playoffs this year. That's great. Chicken says Clippers legit act like they've won 3 titles and coach for the rest of their careers. Yeah, I don't know what they do, man. I feel like they're always like, when the podcasts fire up for next season, everyone's still going to have the Clippers up there, and then we're going to have this same conversation again with a one and done. I mean, they did have the conference finals run, right, where they go when they went up against the Bucks. Borland wants to remind us that we overvalue draft picks in the NBA, LOL, and that is coming from someone who traded 45,000 picks for Rudy Gobert. So I understand why we feel that way, Borland, and then hopefully it doesn't burn the Timberwolves organization, which we do have to talk about, like their offseason move. Chicken Freak says, agree, he stays regardless of the money, but someone will offer him a bag. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the appeal is to offering him a ton of money. I don't really know what the role is. Merkhamai is saying Russ should play the role of Iggy for the Warriors. It was a surprise when Iguodala accepted the 6-man role initially. That's a good point. I mean, listen, dude, if Russ is going to bring that level of intensity and that level of Oh, defense. Oh, Portland, you're right. You did not trade the picks. The Minnesota Timberwolves, the organization and franchise that you typically talk about, is the team that traded the picks. So I do stand corrected. But yeah, I think if Russ is going to bring that level of play that we saw from the, like, you don't want him taking 18, 19 shots, right? Like the three, that's not what Russ is built to do. However, and like we can dunk on him for going 3 for 18, but the only reason he took 18 shots is because you didn't have your two best players there, right? And if he's out there, um, and if he's out there, just like coming in, like do hockey lines with them, right? Have him come in there, fucking fly around, 8 to 12 minutes of time. Give him some run with the second unit so he can get some shots. But they need those other guys to stay healthy. If he's your number one option, of course, like this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, good for Phoenix, man. 4 out of 5. They'll take on Denver in the second round. Let's actually talk about that game right now. Let's go over to Denver and Minnesota. Gross saying, anyone else see that Raptors rumor that they want to sign Dame? Good luck. Top Shot says, comment says, I'd take Russ on the Mavs to run our second unit. That would be interesting. I don't think he could play with Luka though. That's the only thing. But yeah, if it's just second unit and they're splitting the minutes. All right, Denver 112, 109. Let's actually do a quick mental health check because I got some mucus. How about that for some TMI? Let's do this one. Let's do this one. We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, I think it changes you. All right, so the Denver Nuggets moving on to the second round. I want to give Minnesota some credit, though. Minnesota, right, we already talked about game one was set up for a big L for them. And then you know what? They fell down 3-0, but they fought like hell in games 4 and 5. And I don't know, that gave me a little hope for the future, right? I do think they're going to be in a weird spot this offseason, and I feel like there's going to be pressure to move, right? Tim Connolly, I don't know, is he the GM, the vice president, something like that? He's already rumored to be wanting to dip out, which should be real bullshit, right? If you come in, make that Rudy trade, and then a year later be like, I'm out. I want out. They gave him a ton of money, too. Anyways, Rudy had 16 and 15. Karl Anthony Towns, shout out Cat, man. We make fun of Cat a lot. Cat had 26 and 11 in a closeout game. He showed up after having a rough start to the series. Mike Conley had 7 and 9. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who had to start for Kyle Anderson. Also, report out about slow-mo. Our friend Kyle Anderson, he's going to China to play with the national team. How about that, huh? How about Kyle Anderson? Ant-Man, though, dude. Ant-Man. 29, 8, and 7. He missed a tough 3. So Nuggets get up. Jokic hits a wild, takes a lot contact to the body and just kind of flips it up. And of course it goes in. They go up by 3. They run the weirdest shit. So I'm going to push on Chris Finch here a little bit, the coach for the Timberwolves. They sub it. Like I know Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns, they both foul out of the game. They bring in Nathan Knight, but like you're on offense and you need a 3. So I'm not really sure what Nathan Knight's doing. Not only that, they had Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's out there inbounding the ball, which like I kind of want my shooters available. Like, of course the ball's going to Ant-Man here, but I want Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there. So anyways, of course they like Nickeil Alexander-Walker just kind of like fires it off Anthony Edwards or off the defender and it goes back out of bounds. They call timeout again. They get Nathan Knight out of the game, which makes sense. Mike Conley, who a great ball handler, they have him do the inbound. Anthony Edwards somehow gets a pretty good look with some, like everybody in the world knows the ball is going to Ant-Man. He gets the ball, one dribble. Fine. I mean, it was a tough shot, but a decent look. Back rims, looked good. On the release, looked good. So shout out to Ant-Man. He balled out. And again, if you want to talk about like Minnesota's offseason, yeah, it's a little frustrating that this Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert situation didn't really work. But if you want to go glass half full, here's what we can say. Karl Anthony Towns missed so much of the season. Also, yeah, Shiggin saying Nathan Knight at 36% three-point shooter. What's that on? Like 15 attempts? Is he like 6 for 15 on the season? Anyways, Karl Anthony Towns missed so much of the season. They didn't really get a chance to gel. Then all of a sudden they play like 2 weeks together at the end of the season, and then they're in the playoffs, right? And I don't know who I would have taken Minnesota over. Minnesota-Memphis would have been kind of interesting. Minnesota-Golden State would have been kind of interesting. But I feel like I'm taking Minnesota. I mean, I'm taking the other team in all those scenarios, right? So But if you want to be glass half full, Anthony Edwards was wilding this playoffs. He was incredible. So that's your future, Ant-Man. You got to figure out what to do with Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy. You're not going to be able to trade Rudy. I don't want to say that contract's untradeable, but I can't imagine anyone being like, you know what we're missing? An overpaying 7-footer that's declining defensively that can't really do anything offensively besides putbacks. I don't know if anyone's going out of their way to scoop that up. Karl Anthony Towns, however, however you feel about him, he's like one of the most skilled offensive bigs in the league, outside of our boys, Nikola Jokic. And but he's up there, right? He can shoot. He's one of the best shooters in the league. He can do a lot offensively. I could see a team that feels like they're one piece away, like Atlanta, like Portland. Portland's not one piece away. The Knicks, maybe, if the Knicks are like, how about RJ Barrett? How about some picks? How about IQ? I think there's a lot of, I don't know. I think there will be a lot of conversation around Karl Anthony Towns this offseason in Minnesota's future. And I'm very intrigued to see how they handle it. But again, I think the best news for them is Ant-Man is that dude. He is that dude. He is not scared of the moment. He balled out. Also, I just seen this. DJ Local said he's need to get his tickets to China now so we can see slow-mo in action, baby. All right, there we go. That's Borland said much different team with Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels, but yeah, they fought hard with what they had. Going to be an interesting summer. That's true. Yeah, if McDaniels didn't punch that wall, I don't know. Maybe this goes 6 or 7, right? Because McDaniels is one of their best defenders. I don't think he was providing too much offensively, so I don't know how much it matters, but he is like one of their best defenders. And yeah, Naz Reid. I mean, we joke Naz Reid should have been in the 6th man of the year conversation. What do you want back if you're the Wolves? From the Knicks, I think somebody like IQ and picks, centered around IQ. Because I really like Emmanuel Quickly. I feel like he can have a bigger role. I mean, I love Mike Conley, but I think Emmanuel Quickly brings you both some defensive upside from that position and some offensive upside. Um, mm. Man, the ESPN's just firing ads at me left and right now. We're ready to throw a computer. Speaking of throwing computers, don't forget, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Ice Trae. Get that into the chat. Borland, how would you feel about that, right? If you get a couple of first rounders, Emmanuel Quickly for Karl Anthony Towns, would you need more? Or are you of the mindset like run cat back? I forgot Naz Reid was out too. That's a great point. Naz Reid was freaking balling this year, man. He was awesome. Yeah, Chicken says, yeah, Cat's defense does suck. But if you put him back in a situation where like you're not relying on him to be like your defensive stopper, I think that's okay. Put him with Tibbs, baby. Well, I guess Tibbs did coach him. I forgot about that. Reunited and it feels so good. All right, so I haven't talked about Denver yet. We should mention some of the stuff Denver did. The Nuggets advancing to the 2nd round. Aaron Gordon 14-6. Michael Porter Jr. This is 2 games in a row where he did some stuff, but not too much. Went 3 for 10 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. He only had 8 points, 10 boards. Nikola Jokic back-to-back trippy dubbies. 28, 17, and 12. 2 blocks, 2 steals. Jamal Murray, though. I want to talk about Jamal Murray. 35 points, dude. And he looks like Jamal Murray. Bubble Murray is back. He is fully back from this knee injury. Dude has been balling. He's awesome. He's so much fun to watch. We got to do a video. Hold on one second, guys. But I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. Sorry, guys, had a bad cough. Jamal Murray had this incredible finish last night where Michael Jordan-esque flips it up with his back to his basket, kind of like claps the hands, throws it up off the glass and in. He was awesome. I just wanted to look at his playoffs. So for the playoffs this season, right, it looks like he's averaging 20. No, that's the regular season. Hold on. Let's look at the playoffs. He's averaging 27 points per game, 6 dimes, and 5 boards. He's under 3 turnovers a game, averaging a steal a game. He's shooting 50% from 2-point. He's shooting 40. No, wait. What? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. He's shooting 47% from the field, 42% from three. And Stan, where's Stan? Is Stan in that chat, baby? Stan loves, I need you here. I need you here for this. Stan, Jamal Murray, greater than sign, Donovan Mitchell. We love to see it, baby. All right, what do we got? Big Murray fan. Yeah, let's go. Denver over the Suns. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Denver and Phoenix will square off in the second round. This one's going the distance. It's going for speed. I think this one's going to go 7 games. I think it's going to go 7 games. I mean, listen, we watched what we saw from Phoenix, right? Where they're able to just have multiple dudes go in fuego. You got Devin Booker scoring 25 points in a quarter, and that like overshadows KD going for 31. I think this series is going to be super fun. I think it's the Western Conference Finals. I think whoever wins this series is going to make light work of whether it's Golden State, Sacramento, Los Angeles, or not Memphis at this point. I think whoever wins this series is coming out of the West. And I think this matchup's going to be spicy, right? So I imagine you've got Aaron Gordon. You're going to have to throw Aaron Gordon on KD, which I think is going to, I mean, like no one can guard KD. But Aaron Gordon, that's who will be on him. So I imagine we see a lot of like press coverage on him. And then we're going to see KD hit some tough jumpers. You're going to have KCP most likely on Devin Booker, which like, yeah, KCP is a good defensive player, but it's Devin Booker. You'll probably see some Bruce Brown on Book as well. And then you got the Jokic-Ayton matchup, which we all make fun of Ayton all the time. But Ayton's like not terrible defensively. He's been getting killed on the boards in the first round. But maybe this matchup against Joker inspires him a little bit. And now you've got Chris Paul trying to stay in front of Jamal Murray. And this is going to be the first time where we're really going to see this tested. I mean, we saw Russ. Russ absolutely cook, right? Russ cooked this entire playoff series. And now, like, Jamal Murray's not going to provide the same sort of defensive pressure that Russ did on him. But now you have Chris Paul trying to stay in front of these guards. And this is going to be the biggest problem for Phoenix throughout the entire series. Maybe they do something like throw Torrey Craig or Josh Okogie on him instead of putting Chris Paul. But then what are you doing? You're putting Chris Paul on KCP? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how the defensive matchups. And you're going to see, we saw right what Devin Booker can do. Get ready for just some wild pick and roll. Jokic is going to be put into every single pick and roll. It's just going to happen time and time again. Also, is the chat wilding out? Everybody relax. Everybody relax in the chat. I think it's going to be, I'm so excited for this series. I'm ready to watch every single one. Ooh, JJL says late again, mate, because the Giant Kawhi Celtics playing tonight, mine. So my accent sucks. Yeah, the Celtics, dude. I talked about the Celtics up top. Frustrating stuff. But who do you guys have in the chat? Everybody put in the chat. Who do you have? Denver, or Phoenix? Who do you got? Who do you got coming around? Denver or Phoenix? Put it in the chat, baby. Put it in the chat. Oh, I got to get this coffee down fast. I got to get it down fast because the embers shut down, baby. All right, Fenny's taking Denver. Denver. And do you guys agree with me too that it's like Denver or the winner of this series is coming out? Suns, Denver in 7. I mean, I do want to we should talk about Denver having a real home court advantage, right? That altitude, baby, hashtag altitude, and knowing that 4 of the 7 will be in Denver. I do think that plays a part in it. There you go, Borland. Borland's got the Jazz. Lakers. All right, Newswami, relax. Yeah, man. I think it's going the distance. That's gonna be my best take. I picked the Suns to come out of the West. I picked the Suns Celtics finals. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be close. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. Unless there's some injuries and somehow the Lakers get another easy trip. Yeah, no, they're not gonna get an easy trip to the finals. Don't even put that out there. That would be the funniest thing, though, if the Lakers were the team that ran hot with injuries, right? That they were like, somehow the Lakers with Anthony Davis, old man LeBron, that was the team that stayed healthy throughout the whole time. Speaking of that, Chicken Frick says we get 3 days rest. Until the next round. I thought you meant in between games. Yeah, I know that is good. That is good. Because I was giving them a hard time, and I mentioned it today with how many minutes their stars of like KD and CP3 are playing. But I mean, one of the benefits, like, yeah, you played a ton of minutes, but now it's over in 5, and you get to sit back and wait a little bit. Even though the Nuggets did the same thing. I kind of wish this series was spread out a little bit more, so we didn't get them until the Western Conference Finals. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it'd still be kind of fun, like the fact that we might get the Warriors, the Kings, or the Lakers in the whatever. I'll say the Grizzlies too in the Western Conference Finals against one of those two teams. Let's talk about tonight's action. What do we got here tonight? So we got 4 games, which is stupid. Again, I can't stress enough how dumb I think that is. But for tonight, we've got at 7:00 the Bing Bong Boys versus the Cavs. I kind of think Cleveland takes this game and then they finish them out in New York. I do think New York is winning this series, even though I picked the Cavs. I think New York just seems too tough, man. They still have to close out. I think it's hard to beat on a closeout game. They're at home. I feel like Cleveland's going to show up for this one. There's no way Donovan Mitchell flames out again. As hard as I am on Donovan, there's no way he has another bad game. So let's see. I do think Cleveland gets the dub, and then it comes back to New York, and the Bing Bong Boys close it out in 6. We get a little Jalen Brunson game. Yeah, so I get the Cavs tonight, but that'll be a fun one to watch. That one starts at 7. They got the NBA TV treatment. How about that? Then at 7:30, Lakers and Grizzlies. That's on TNT. So Lakers and Grizzlies 7:30 tonight. I think the Grizz get this one. The one thing I was thinking, and I listened to the mismatch, and they mentioned this too. Right, the Lakers played it. I mean, both teams played a ton of minutes, right? You had an overtime game, but obviously this impacts the Lakers a little bit more than the Grizzlies because you have LeBron and AD, some old heads. Even though AD is not that old, but he feels old. And now they have to turn around. They have to fly to Memphis and then play a lot of minutes again. I feel like this might be a letdown spot for LA. There's no way Memphis shoots fucking like 12% from 3 again on 40 attempts. So I think Memphis takes this game, and then it'll be interesting to go back to LA. This feels like similar to Cleveland. I think Memphis gets this, and then the Lakers probably finish them up in 6. But it's LeBron, dude, and we want to, punk on LeBron for being corny or talking about himself in the third person and the LeBron doctor of feet or whatever. He's incredible. He's incredible. What he did in Game 4, which is something like just stepping on the throat of the Grizzlies in that type of performance in overtime, like. It's good shit. So, but I do think the Grizz take this one, and then we'll move on to Game 6 in LA, and then the late slate, 9:30, baby. JJL says let's do a Top Shot moment giveaway bet on the Cleveland New York series. Ooh, all right, you're taking Cleveland to rip off 3 in a row. I just think it's hard to win 3 in a row. All right, 9:30, we got Heat and Bucks, and I mean, we didn't expect this. Game 5 in Milwaukee is an elimination game for the Bucks. There's no way this has to come back to Miami, right? If Milwaukee folds in 5, holy shit. That's wild. Oh, he's saying a rare moment. All right, JJL. All right, so JJL's saying if the Knicks win the series, he has to give away a rare moment. If the Cavs win the series, I'll give away a rare moment. I think that's fun. That's fun. Anyways, the Bucks Heat. So that if the Bucks fold, dude, there's going to be so much offseason talk. You think the Karl Anthony Towns or the Trae Young stuff will be loud? If the Bucks as the 1 seed with the best player in basketball dip out in the first round to the 8-seeded Miami Heat, Bud deuces. Coach Bud is gone. And then there's going to be a lot of talk around guys like Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. Like, are the Bucks organization doing enough to win chips with the best player in the league? Superloop saying, yeah, if the Bucks lose, at least they will finally fire Bud. Honestly, if they win this year, if they don't go to the Eastern Conference Finals, at least they should fire Bud. But let's see, man. I think FanDuel still has them as like a plus 180 to win the series, which is kind of wild, or plus 160, something like that. So who knows? I wouldn't be stunned if, Giannis gives us like a 50, 15, and 15 tonight. And then they just kind of rip through the Heat in 3 straight games. But the fact that and we said this yesterday, this is why it sets up so nicely. If the Knicks can close out Cleveland tonight, right? They're either getting Miami in the second round, or the Bucks are going to have to play 7 games play 7 games in order to then go move on to the second round. So you're getting a tired Bucks team with a bad back Giannis. So anyways, it's going to be, I'm really excited for that. And then the last game of the night, De'Aaron Fox is playing, which is wild. So Fox with a broken finger after Shams tweeted out that he was doubtful for the game. And then there was another report being like, yes, he went through a shoot around yesterday, but he's doubtful for the game. And then Fox steps up to the mic and he's like, bet your ass I'm there. So Fox is playing, which is pretty good. Weisberg saying Giannis has 2 years left on his deal, and I think people forgot the Bucks have new ownership. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The Breakfast Boys. Shout out to the Breakfast Boys. Scary stat. Some like 90% of Game 3 winners take the series. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But anyways, De'Aaron Fox is playing. Mike Brown said he still needs to clear his medical stuff, but Fox was like, I'm going to be out there. I'll be out there, which is great. Even if he's not 100%, I love that. I love that energy. And you know what? If he sucks, if he can't get it done, at least he gave a shot to get out there, and then you can take him out of the game or whatever. But this real road warrior thing is put to the test tonight, right? So the Warriors, I've said this stat so many times, so I apologize. They've won 11 road games this entire season, including the playoffs. 11 road victories. The Charlotte Hornets, who have played 2 less road games than the Warriors, have 14 road wins, okay? This is putting that to the test because they now have won 2 in a row. They've tied the series. We're in pivotal Game 5 action. They've got De'Aaron Fox, who is dinged up. All the momentum is there. The Kings haven't been in this situation before. So this will be put to the test. Can they go in to Sacktown and get a W? And if they can't do it tonight, I'll be curious to see how they react at home in Game 6. But this does, I mean, obviously it's going 6 games. Feels like we could get some 7 games out of this, which would be kind of fun. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm pulling for the Kings just because it's a fun story. Ooh, Bandy coming in hot, baby. It's a fun story, so I'm pulling for them. But it does feel like Steph Curry's just going to come in foot to the throat. Although, you know what? We talk about that, and then Steph's calling timeouts when they don't have timeouts. He's shooting the ball. He's shooting one-footed runners with like 12 seconds left in the shot clock. So there you go. Shigan saying, 2-time coach of the year, NBA champion, 60% chance of winning. All right. Snoopaloop, too, back to the Bucks thing. I don't think it's really a player problem for the Bucks. I think you need something fresh in for the coaching staff. They have run their course. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think my point is like Middleton and Holiday aren't like getting younger. And then you look at the supporting staff and it's dude like Joe Ingles, who's not getting any younger. It's Pat Connaughton. It is Wesley Matthews isn't really playing too much. But I think those ancillary pieces probably need to get upgraded a little bit. But you're right. I mean, I do think that core is still good. I mean, they won a ton of games. Oh my God, Nick Nurse to the Bucks. That would be the opposite of Coach Bud. If Nick Nurse comes in there, because the biggest criticism for Bud over the years was that, like, why is Giannis playing like 31 minutes in the playoffs? You get Nick Nurse, Giannis is going to be playing 45 minutes in the regular season. That would be wild. That would be wild. Oh, Bandy's getting ready for a jump. Get ready for it. Let's see. He's like, oh. Sniff it out. Sniff it out, bro. Here we go. Oh, he's checking in. He's checking in. Is this okay? Can I do this, Dad? Can I do this? He knows we're talking about it, though. Oh, here we go. Nope. All right. We'll see. Who all is following Udoka to Houston? Well, it does feel like, there it is. Boom. Up and away. It does feel like James Harden. There's some real smoke behind that fire. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. JJL says, masshole Pat Connaughton. Yeah, dude, from Allenton, kid. Allenton just chucking him up from 3, dude. You remember Larry Bird? How about Pat Connaughton, bro? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope it's not Jaylen Brown. DJ Logo. Anyway, so those are the series tonight. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about tonight's basketball. And yeah, Boston Bay says, can we take a second to appreciate the NBA playoffs? It has. It's been fun. It has been a lot of fun. The playoffs have been great. And I'm excited. I wish it was like, I don't think I want 4 games tonight because I want to watch all of these games. And instead, we're going to be flipping around, which is a reminder. We'll be here for playback tonight. Over playback, the 89 Cavs are going to be live here for the early games. So come hang out with Justin, myself, and Steve as we flip between the first 2 early games. Shigan saying Georges Niang is your favorite random masshole player. That's a good one. That is a good one. I forgot I think I learned that in the I'm gonna sneeze. I think I learned that in Ryan Russillo podcast that he's from Massachusetts, actually. That was a good one. But anyways, that's the action for tonight. Really looking forward to it. A couple of things I just wanted to highlight. I mentioned that 90s fan is going to come on Friday to talk a little bit about the draft, but there was an article about Dapper and, well, really NFL All Day that came out in The Block. It is kind of my favorite thing, dude, when anytime a piece comes out like this, right? Everybody's bags impacts their take, right? I don't think anybody can look at it and be like, wow, this is pretty interesting that somebody put this information out there. But you know what? It didn't really list its sources, right? Like, I think that's a reasonable take. Like, there's probably some smoke, there's some fire behind that smoke. But yeah, of course, it's like a tainted in a way, right? Or it's pushed in a direction. But the take is either Dapper is the worst run organization in the history of anything, or this guy's a moron. This is a hit piece. Like, no one can have any sort of just like level-headed reaction to something like that. But anyways, they talked a little bit about how the NFL All Day team, the Dapper team, had a deal with the NFL Players Association, and it became clear that with crypto winter and the lack of demand for this product, that they were going to come in way under what the agreement was money wise. And then there was, a little smoke behind maybe there was going to be a lawsuit if they weren't going to get to it. But the biggest thing that I took away, and like, who knows the truth on any of that, but the biggest thing I took away, which is something we already knew, is that almost all of the wallets, all of the Dapper wallets for NFL All Day came from Top Shot. So it wasn't like there were people who were like, oh my God, dude, once it hits football, mass adoption, all of these people are going to come in because football is a bigger product than the basketball. And it's like, nah, dude, it's the same 5,000 people. It's the same 5,000 people. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. I don't think people are just like, dude, they didn't list the sources, so they can't be true. How many times do we listen to a trade rumor or something about the front office where it just says sources? And we don't like, well, man, if we don't know exactly who said that in the front office, this is garbage. What I'd love to know is who is the source. What I'd love to know is who the source is given the Dapper firings. Yeah, who knows? But that to me didn't feel hit piecey. I don't know. Like, a lot of people, I know there was some like rumblings in the VIPs about it. If Dapper pissed off team partners, they did something dumb. OTP just exists to smooth over the relationship between NFL and the business. Yeah. I mean, this is probably not new. I imagine this stuff happens all the time where people like try to renegotiate and they're like, no, we're not renegotiating. You signed a deal. But anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting. It was always fun. It's always fun watching people lose their mind on Twitter regarding this stuff. So I'm glad we had that. This was all stuff we as Dapper's liquidity already knew. Yeah, that's what I mean. None of that was surprising, that's why I always think it's so funny when people get so mad. But I guess we get mad because my bags, they're all I know. The other thing, what was the other thing I wanted to? Oh yeah, can somebody explain to me? Anybody that was already in Top Shot. Sorry, my glasses are super dirty. Anybody that was already in Top Shot, did you guys not have access to the app? So I saw everybody's tweet out some stuff, and by everybody I mean the people that work for Dapper or the people that volunteer for Dapper. Tweeting out the app was out, and maybe I misunderstood. I thought the app was like pretty much already available to anybody in Dapper. So I'm really surprised that everybody was sharing that. All right, DJ Local just got it today. Andre just got it yesterday. Okay, so maybe that I apologize. I thought that was pretty much readily available to everybody at that point. Yeah, JJL saying we had the app 5 months ago. You just got access. Can somebody? You didn't have it till last? Okay, all right. I take it back. Can somebody explain why it's a limited time? I don't understand the limited time access to the app. Very confused by that. Yeah, I don't know. I like what's the all right. A lot of this seems like it was new to yesterday. All right, I take my sass back, baby. I take it back. I am surprised by the limited time thing though. Did they no, they didn't have an Android. It was all iOS. Are you guys all Android bros in the chat? Is that what's happening right now? The limited time is just for clicks and to excuse the lack of features for beta. Boston Base. That's big time. That is big time. Anyways, listen, progress. Hashtag progress. Excited for it. That's good. That part is weird. The only thing that makes sense is there's still beta. Yeah, it's got to be the beta. Also, don't forget, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Ice Trae. We're going to spin this up here in a few minutes. we'll watch the Sass Captain Sassy Pants. That's me, baby. That's me. Limited to be because clearly they're going to get a massive influence. All right. All right. The other thing I wanted to do was go over to, I wanted to go over to So Rare real quick, just so I can show you my lineups. We'll show these lineups here. When talk about the Hawks, Eric P, they're still in beta. Eric, you missed it. That was like the first 15 minutes, baby. Congrats on your Hotlanta Hawks. Actually, let me do this one here. So, all right. So this is the roster here. This is looking at as a common tier 2, right? I had Jokic drop 88. Butler was 79. Giannis was 61. Damian Lee with nothing. And then Cedi Osman. All these lineups sucks. My contender lineup sucks. My champion lineup has some hope, right? Bogdan, who I picked up yesterday, dropped 47. Man with 24. Jamal Murray with 64. We get Sabonis and Fox tonight. My rare contender, Max Strus. Shout out Max Strus, dude. A negative score. I think that's always very impressive. He had -4. Bogey with 51. Gabe with 30. DeAndre with 24. We got 2 games left of Keegan Murray. Need Max Strus to get up there. And then this lineup, the rare champion, was just leftovers. But I did want to go over to baseball for a second because the baseballs. This one's pretty fun. Right now we're in 33rd place here. We had Sonny Gray, shout out Borland's Minnesota Twins, drop a 40. We got a save from Jansen last night. He got 18. Devers already balling with 23. Mateo with 27. Pena with 30. So I need Santander and Estrada to get their shit going. But right now we're in 33rd place. 33rd is, so I wanted to view the prize pool. 33rd is a rare tier 3. I think that also gives me $5, baby. You get that ETH. So that's pretty exciting. We like that. Look at me now. I'm by myself here. What else we got here in the chat? Ice Trae also having Trae breaking my heart on playback last time was brutal. Yeah, I bet. Why is Ice Trae a good? Because he's cold, baby. He's cold. Trae Young does seem like someone who gives themselves the nickname though, which I'm very out on. I had a friend of mine did that when this was young, years ago. It's probably like, yikes, 15, 14 years ago. And he said his nickname was Vice because he gets tight under pressure or something, or tightens under pressure. What? If you have to explain it too, I'm out. I'm out on it. Redemption talk. People tend to value and hold moments they craft more than regular moments. The engagement involved in redemptions will boost their long-term value. Yeah, maybe. Hey, listen, the redemption stuff seems good. Seems to be like a lot of volume, a lot of action on it. So that is pretty exciting. I saw Top Shot Common Man's tweet being like, ooh, can't wait for that playoff moment of Trae Young. I am curious. Are people really excited? Or maybe if Atlanta wins, that makes it a little bit more exciting. But say Atlanta just gets waxed in Game 6. Are you still excited to hold that Trae Young moment? That Trae Young moment afterwards? Like, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I mean, I guess if you're an Atlanta fan or a Trae fan, yeah, absolutely. Or just a Boston hater in general, I could see that. Also, I saw a thread about Austin Kent shared a thread that said, what was it? It was, I guess there was a dialogue around the best place to watch highlights, and they were saying how it's NBA Top Shot versus like YouTube, and there's just back and forth. But in the thread, he mentioned like, yeah, we don't have game audio, but you can use your imagination, which I thought was a wild selling point. Maybe it was like tongue in cheek, and he was joking. It's wild. That was wild. Anyways, my Bogdan's moment rank play flop, mate. What? How did he flop? Well, he had a great game for, I guess, like he didn't have a better game than a superstar. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, all right, Boston base. What else we got? So glad Vice and Mice buddy cop movie. Yeah, there we go. A lot of playoff set collectors out there. Yeah, I guess, man. It's still a game winner in the offs, so it's cool to some. Yeah. I mean, dude, it was a baller shot. Yes, so I can always remember the Celtics beating that piece of plastic that holds water until it freezes into ice. Wow, that's good, Sneeps. That's good. I'm a mid-level Trae fan. One of my favorite moments I got was the quietest. Yeah, I mean, that was incredible, right? But that to me felt more iconic. That was again, listen, if Atlanta somehow rips off 2 more wins and eliminates Boston, it changes. It changes like the importance to me of that moment. But like Anthony Edwards had a couple of incredible moments in this first round. And I don't know if we're going to remember those moments specifically, but however, we will remember that we will like that Ant-Man had a coming out party, you know, which I think is different. I don't know. But either way, I love that people seem jacked for it. And I like that. I'm happy for the excitement. Am I making bank on NBA Top Shot? I am when I use my imagination. That right there is great. That's good stuff right there. I love that growth. All right. So reminder here, playback tonight at 7 o'clock with the 89 Cavs. We're going to be flipping around for those first 2 games and then getting out of here. I actually think Shot Tank is going to take the week off now that I'm catching up on my messages. So no Shot Tank. So if you're not, come for playback. But if you're not here for playback, we'll see you tomorrow morning covering the 4 games from last night. Also, guys, do me a favor before we spin this giveaway. We're slowly building up our second YouTube channel. We've got a new video coming out most likely early next week. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know if it's going to be early next week, but we're doing a new that's just NBA specific. It's more like curated stuff, produced content, not live stream stuff like that. But I'd really like to build up that audience over there. So I just dropped a link into the chat. I'm pinning this bad boy right here. So do me a favor, just go subscribe to that channel. It's just subscribe to the channel and then just like the first video. But yeah, check that out. Chicken Frick says, do we redeem all our KD moments after round 1, or do we redeem one and save others for each round? Yeah, dude, I don't know. But it seems like you would redeem one. I'm not sure. If you think they're going to get through the Nuggets, I'd just redeem one. Or maybe you split the difference, redeem a couple. I don't know. Confession, I thought John Collins would be better than he is. My favorite moment is him dunking on Embiid. Dude, that was incredible, right? That was so much fun with John Collins. I do think we're going to see, if John Collins can get to a different team, I think we'll see John Collins explode a little bit more. He's also hurt right now. He's been playing with a bad finger, which is kind of why he's been bad. We remember Jordan scoring 63 against the Celtics and he lost. Brent, that is the one example. The one example. The only other one maybe is Allen Iverson in the finals when he steps over Ty Lue before losing 4 straight or 3 straight, because I think it was 1-1. Those are like the 2 examples. What else we got? What happened to our Dapper credit? What Dapper credit? Would you get in Dapper credit and T-shirts? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I love those T-shirts, though. I can't wait for everybody to remember. I can't wait for everybody to rep those. Also, too, just a reminder, Summer League, baby. Summer League. We have a venue locked and loaded. July 7th. No, wait. It's July 8th, whatever that Saturday is. I think it's July 8th, 5 to 7, baby. We have a venue. Get excited. We're going to be at the Park MGM, staying there. That's not where the venue is. We'll be staying at the Park MGM July 6th to the 10th. We've got some fun giveaways that we'll announce shortly regarding that. We get some fun partnerships I'm excited about too. Book it, baby. Book it. I know Dustin's booked. G Dunn's booked. I know Jeb is booked. Bowdivine is booked. So get out there. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. And then hopefully we get some more announcements coming around that as well. All right. Isaiah Thomas on one leg versus Boston. Pistons lost, but Thomas set the record. There we go. We got 3, baby. We got 3. All right. Let's give this thing away. Let's give it away. If you win, again, I told you, I'm very generous, baby. So if you are a Top Shot bro, I'll have a Top Shot moment for you. If you're so rare, bro, I got a so rare moment for you. So like the stream, last call, subscribe, hashtag Ice Trae. I'm going to spin this thing right here and right now. If you win, shoot me a DM on Twitter at Mike Zakarian, or you can get at me in the Discord. Get some rest, everybody. All right. We're logging some hours here this basketball season. It's getting spicy. All right. Who's it going to be? Seeing a lot of familiar names up here. Bing, bang, bang. Oh, Stubbs. Adam Stubbs. You know what, Adam Stubbs? You got your Cleveland Cavs up tonight. I'm excited you started the day with the W. I hope that continues for you the rest of the day. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Excited for some more hoops tonight, and we will see you at Playback tonight at 7 or back here tomorrow morning. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. We are out.